And we are live. What's up, Matt? How you doing, man? How's your week been?
Yo, it's been great, man. Just been taking this time to get ahead on some on some practicing,
That's nice. It's
and
good. Same.
yeah, getting more into running, I guess. So I've been
Oh,
trying to get out, get some air. So
nice. How
yeah,
much are you running?
that's been about it.
What is your
For
distance?
now, just starting off like 30 minutes a day, but
Very good. Oh, so you're
it's
not
also
doing distance, you're just doing time?
yeah, I'm just doing time for now.
Nice, man. Cool.
So
So I
yeah.
got a question for you. What are you drinking?
Oh, I am currently drinking wine.
Why again? Again with the wine.
Yeah, again with the wine. I still have some practicing to get done, so I
Okay, me
can't.
too, actually. I need to do
Yeah.
many things. I'm drinking my patented Rona Rita that I created the other day, which is uh, what is this called? What are these called? Electrolyte mix. Yeah, it's electrolyte mix,
So
orange salt flavor with tequila and ice. But anyway, enough of that. I don't know. I think I can speak for both of us when I say I'm very excited to bring on our guest this week, our very good friend Andres Pichardo Rosenthal. We all met. Matt, and myself went to USC together back in 2010. We were immediate friends. We were a very tight crew, and we've remained great friends ever since. He's accomplished so much, and he went to USC, then he went to NEC, and then he got into New World, and he was like, you know what, I don't need to do New World, I'm just going to win a job. And he won the Detroit Symphony Orchestra assistant principal percussion. So without further ado, I'd
yeah.
love to welcome onto the feed our very good friend Andres Pichardo Rosenthal. Yo, Trace, what's up, man?
Hello, everybody.
Grace.
It's good to
Yo,
be here, guys.
awesome.
How's everyone doing?
Doing all right. How's Detroit?
It's been good. I think for the first time, it's a good thing that Detroit is very unpopulated. You know, it's an advantage right
You
now.
got your social distancing built in.
It's built in. It's built in.
Perfect.
Not a lot of people.
Nice, dude.
Um, but yeah, I'm happy to see you guys.
Yeah, happy to see you too. I'm glad you're doing well,
Yeah,
staying
dude.
healthy.
Yeah,
And you
yeah.
got
I'm
Shayna with
doing
you.
my best. Yeah, my wife's with me. She's been working from home, which is more than I can say.
Perfect.
Yeah.
What's the deal with Detroit Symphony? Officially what's their
We're not going to be playing until May 10th,
okay.
and yeah, I mean, it's just kind of we're keeping our ear to the news because a lot can change in a day. But yeah, I mean, I feel like what we do is kind of the worst thing for this virus because there's just a
Yeah.
bunch of people packed in a small room, and it's just everything you shouldn't be doing right now. So I think
Yeah.
it's going to take a little while
Yeah,
for
it's
sure.
really the art scene is definitely taking a huge hit for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But so
yeah.
what are you drinking, Andres, for this happy hour?
I hope everyone doesn't judge me right now, but water, like that's
Nice.
about just yeah, no blackmail, please. But I feel like I'm really putting my heart on the string for you guys right now.
You're being
Man,
very
just cutting back
vulnerable,
on
man.
carbs, dude. That's fine. That's
Low
totally fine.
carb, low carb,
Low
but
carb.
high fun.
How many net carbs we got on this thing?
It's 100 calories. I don't know, man. Oh, 1% carbs. I don't know how that works, but it all seems pretty low.
Yeah, whatever. You look great, man. You look great.
Thank you, thank you.
Quarantine
I
is
think your
treating
hair's
you
a
I
little
well.
too short, but
decided to
I
dress up
dude,
from the
your
waist
your
up.
your fro's gonna start coming out again now that you can't cut your hair.
Oh, I know.
I know, man. I know. Yeah, come back in like 2 weeks. I'm gonna look like Castaway.
Yeah, dude. I've never been in such bad need of a haircut, but it's just gonna be going nuts.
Somehow it still looks perfectly
Yeah,
coiffed.
Oh, thanks, dude.
yeah.
So
It's just gonna be perfectly coiffed,
it's just
like
gonna get
exponentially
larger.
big.
It's gonna start. Pretty soon, I'm gonna look like
Elvis is
a
on.
yeah. It's gonna
You're
be
gonna
like
have to go
a
like this.
It's gonna be more just like a helmet that I put on in the morning. It's just
Yeah,
very
exactly,
Lego-like.
exactly.
But all right, well, we got one question yesterday because in my post I said that anyone who knows you knows that you're the life of the party, and someone, Richard Bachman, he wrote, he asked, how does one become the life of the party? So we'll start with that softball for you.
Whoa. I mean, I mean, I don't know. That's a nice compliment. I don't know, man. It just, I wouldn't say that I am, but I don't know. I don't know. That's a funny question. Yeah, I mean, just being yourself, man. Being yourself.
Yep.
Do you feel so?
That's
I've always
that's a cop-out answer.
No, I mean I think it's a good answer because I think when we first met, I think we became very close friends because we weren't like peas in a pod. You were very extroverted, and I'm pretty introverted, but we had like a very immediate connection. I thought.
Yeah,
I think we just like played off. You're a very extroverted guy. So what does that do for you? Like when you're in a public setting or you're in a group, does something just turn on in your brain and you're like, I want to talk to everybody? Because you do end up talking to everybody in a room when you're in a room.
Well, I think, man, honestly, I swear to God, I think everyone is, a lot of people in the world, there's billions of people in the world. Everyone has something to offer. It's
Wait a
interesting
second.
to see.
No, let's go. Keep going. Sorry.
No, it's interesting. People have interesting stories. Everyone has interesting stories. So like, I enjoy hearing people's stories and backgrounds and like, how people got to where they got. And I genuinely get a lot of joy out of that. So I don't think it's like, I think it's more of like, trying to find out people's story and personality. I feel like everyone has something to offer. So that's kind of like, I enjoy getting that out of people. I actually Airbnb my place. I know you do too, Eddie. And it's like, I don't know about you, but I enjoy talking to the people, because it's like people from all walks of life, Europeans, South Americans, people from all over the United States. And it's just kind of cool to be like, what do you do? And, and usually I know the three of us probably have jobs that are like, in our community, it's nothing, or not nothing, but it's not a big deal. But anyone outside music, like, wait, you play in an orchestra? It's interesting. So it's cool to kind of like, show what you do and hear what other people do. I mean, there's a lot of interesting people out there, So that's kind of what what I think about when I like talk to people, just like kind of getting their background and stuff.
That's a great strategy. I should try that.
Yeah.
I think in my head, I'm just like, there's just like a monkey playing cymbals when I'm in a group. I'm just like, oh God,
yeah,
what's happening?
Yeah.
But real quick, just want to give some shout outs, people. Diana Morgan, my lovely wife, she's watching. Matt Richards, what's up, man? Mr. Percussion himself. My very good friend, Covey Kapadia. What's up, Covey? And Matthew Karatsu, remember that guy, trombone player, USC.
Yeah,
Matt Karatsu.
Dude.
What's up, dude?
What's up, man? Good to see you. So anyway, back to this thread that we're on with. Do you have? So you're interested in finding out about people. Do you have like? You just go with the flow, or do you have like an opening question that you like to go to?
Oh, I guess it's just go with the flow. I've never even thought of that.
So you don't even think, it's just natural for you. It's an intuitive thing.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
That's great.
I guess so.
I'm jealous. I don't have control.
Maybe I need to shut the fuck up sometimes, though. But
no.
Everyone loves talking. I mean, like, I feel like for me,
he's just genuinely interested in other people.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't know, but yeah. I mean, yeah. That's. I mean, I not everyone's like that. I guess like some people, like I tell people like about Airbnb or stuff like that, and it's like they can never even fathom that. So it's not everyone's like that.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. I feel like for me, it's sometimes it's like a muse that visits me in certain situations. I can be very extroverted and very on, and I feel on, and it's like someone is like
What
handing
does the
me
muse
jokes.
look like though?
It doesn't
Is it
look like
like
anything.
a little hairy man?
It's
Oh, okay.
it's a little homunculus that lives in my head. He looks like a leprechaun.
Yeah.
But no,
He just like
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, he just dances a jig on my brain. He like dances on the right part of my brain that releases all the chemicals. And
yeah.
no, I just feel like
Yeah.
someone is handing me one-liners and jokes. Like I am not actively thinking of these things when I'm on. But then there's times where it is
Right.
the opposite, where I'm so in my head and I feel so awkward, and my default there is just to kind of like smile genuinely and ask as many questions as
Which
possible.
Which is fine, man. I feel like everyone has that. This is not me 100%. Sometimes like, you got to kind of just observe, it's like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Dude, Matt, like what about you? Matt, like you're also very extroverted, and I feel like you, I don't know, I mean this, I don't think this is an insult, but I feel like you have like a system. Like you developed a system for engaging people that's really effective.
Oh, I mean, I don't know if I have a system or anything, but I don't know. Yeah, just like what Andres is saying is just people just have to find out what people are up to. And I guess as you know, because I was telling you about that book, that How to Win Friends and Influence People. That one book, yeah. Dale Carnegie.
Yeah.
Is that Dale Carnegie? I mean, it just says like just the simple act of just remembering their names.
Yeah, that's tough.
That's huge. You can even think of it yourself. Like when someone's like, "Hey, Matt, how are you?"
Yeah.
And you're like, "Yeah, I like this guy."
I am Matt.
Even like throughout the same first interaction, you repeat their name just as like a,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's a fine balance,
simple
though.
And effective. It's an effective tool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like
totally.
Some people almost use people's names, like they've gotten so good at remembering people's names that they then start to use it as a crutch. Like some people will say a lot. Some people will they'll like say your name way too much, and you're like, oh, are you listening right now, or are you just saying my name?
Yeah. Actually, when we took some classes on public speaking at New World, because they gave some classes on that, we had to publicly present a concert.
You know what? That's cool.
That's good.
Cool.
Yeah, those are life skills. We needed those. We needed those in our upbringing. Like the education system is all about tests. Like we didn't learn anything.
Just I know I wouldn't have paid attention, but throw into like a tax class too. Like
like a finance class.
Yeah, understanding finances, balancing, or like how to manage money. Oh, is Andres in trouble?
Sorry.
Anyway, Harrison Hyatt is watching. How's it going, Harrison?
Harrison's watching.
Dude, Harrison, drop us a question, dude.
Harrison's watching.
Hey, Harrison.
Harrison, how is your hair during this? Is it long and flowing, or did you chop it all off?
Wait, I want to see these chats. How do I see these?
I mean, you can go, like, if you go on something else and go on Facebook, you can probably go to my page. But don't do it now, dude. You disappear. Do it. I don't know if Shayna has like an iPad or something. I want to say hi
to Harrison.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Anyway, okay, so yeah, social skills. You guys both got them. I've learned some.
But also just not being afraid to just introduce yourself to people.
Oh, that's scary.
It's like no matter like their level of anything, it's just like anything. Just make it nice and calm. Just
that is scary. That is scary to me, man. Like sometimes it's that muse.
I know, but why not? You just got to do it. What? It's like they're gonna look at you and go.
Yeah, don't talk to me. They'll look down their nose at me. All those things. They'll get me arrested.
How about this? Best case scenario, you have a good conversation. Worst case scenario,
I die.
It's just a very funny story. A funny story. Yeah. It's a funny story.
Also, dude,
actually, that's kind of a funny story. No.
Yeah. Another thing that you're actually really good at, Andres, is when something like lulls for a little bit besides percussion, but when something like
when
Like,
something lulls.
there's like a lull.
So,
Yeah.
Always have the one-liners that just make people crack up.
Yeah.
So
Sometimes it's just like a
I
simple
mean,
like, hey, you'll do that. That's like your signature.
yeah. I mean, I feel like with like, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of those moments, especially.
Oh, we lost him. I thought he was deep in thought,
What do
man.
I say?
There it is. We lost you for a sec.
oh,
There you are.
And
it just went in like
you hear me?
super slow motion.
Yeah,
for
we
a
got
second.
you. You're back. You're back.
Oh my god, awesome.
Yeah, it just like, are we good?
Sorry, dude.
Don't worry,
It keeps freezing, and you're in like the most hilarious positions.
Oh, that's
You're
Is
back.
this better?
You're good. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're good. I'm like crying.
Anyway, it's just kind of funny, man. It's like, yeah, it's those lulls are funny. Yeah. Anyway, it happens.
That's awesome. Well, I have a question for you, man. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I don't think we ever talked about this. What? So when you were auditioning for Detroit, you were on the audition circuit. You had just won New World, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Naples was right before that.
What was before that?
What's that?
Naples.
Oh,
Remember
Naples, Florida.
Dude.
All right, we'll talk about that.
Story. That's
Okay,
a good story.
we'll get to that for sure. We'll get to Naples for sure.
I finally learned that piece.
Oh, nice. So you get to you win New World, and then how soon after that was the Detroit audition?
Like a month.
A month, okay. And you were at NEC
Yeah.
at the time, right?
Yeah, it just finished NEC.
At a
and
certificate
it was like,
program?
What's that?
A certificate program, or were you doing like a...
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, certificate program, and it was it was like kind of like that panic time, you know.
Okay. So do you think that was like, a big part of your preparation? That kind of like school's ending.
It was definitely a there's a sense of urgency.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when there's kind of like there's almost like a ending point that is palpable. You're kind of like, okay, let's like just we're just gonna go all in, you know.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's how I roll. Matt, I feel like Matt, you're a very disciplined dude, so it's like, you know, it's like that intensity is always there. But for me, you know, I feel like it would kind of go in and out. So I feel like with an end line,
there it is.
comes trying to focus, you know, a lot more in that last year.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, with like, and so having won New World, which I was very happy about, taking Detroit, it was kind of like, well, first of all, I always find that taking auditions consecutively help because it kind of like dulls the nerve. There's a flow, and it dulls the nerves a little bit because like when you have a bunch of like things that you have to prepare for in a row, not one of them sticks out. They're all kind of big, and it almost dulls it. So, so having the New World thing and then the Detroit thing, it just kind of was like, yeah, you got this momentum going, and it definitely helped having those all next to each other, you know, which solidifies the fact of like always, you know, take as many of those as you can do because it takes some getting used to, you know.
Yeah, for sure. So how did you use that sense of pressure? Like, how did you use that to your advantage instead of folding? Like, you know, some people would kind of fold under that kind of pressure of knowing that the end is coming. They would put too much pressure on themselves. They would maybe get too much of a perfectionist mindset. How did you use it to your advantage?
So I feel like the first year at NEC, it was very much like focus, you know, hyper focus and it almost to a fault. For me, I actually kind of took a little bit of a step back and started to like try and balance my life a little bit, like go to the gym more, you know, cook more a little bit, just like have some alone time while also practicing a lot.
Right.
And I feel like those little adjustments help. For me, getting my mind right, just because like if this is the only thing you do all day, it's like I feel like for me it's just not as productive mentally. I don't know. That's not for everyone. Some people have to throw themselves in it the whole
Right.
time, but I feel like just having a balanced life also helps and like gives you perspective a little bit, you know?
Okay. So in your daily schedule, you're trying to balance your life. You wanted to cook more. You went to the gym more. I'm trying to put
Yeah.
myself in that situation, and I feel like I would kind of have anxiety, like I should be practicing right now. So how did you
Yeah,
avoid that?
you gotta let that go a little bit. I mean, don't get me wrong. I was a lot.
Yeah.
You know, we were practicing a lot. You know,
Yeah.
all of us. But you also have to realize that there's multiple. There's half of it is mental, man. I mean, you know, it's just like getting your mind right and feeling confident and getting, you know, making sure that your mechanics are working and you know, it's a physical thing, it's a mental thing, it's a repetition thing, you know, it's so yeah. I mean, I feel like just balancing the rest of it helps in a way. I don't know. I mean, you know, you see athletes and yeah, they pour themselves into the sport, but there's also the physical side, there's the stretching side, there's the mental aspect of it. There's, you know, I feel like there's you know, there's other aspects of it, you know. So I don't know. I mean, that's kind of where I yeah, I just like I guess started seeing success when I just kind of, you know, balanced as long as working hard. I'm not saying don't work hard, obviously, but you know, it's like it's just a balance, a healthy balance.
Awesome.
I think having that balance probably makes you have a higher standard for your practice sessions. Like it holds you accountable for more, and you have to really make sure. Man. Yeah, use the time really well. Yeah. In
that period, you work efficiently. Yeah, exactly. Because yeah, that's true, man. That's true. It's like it's not like, oh well, I'll be here all day, so I'm gonna, you know, work on my phone and play a game. It's like, don't worry, I did plenty of that. I'm not. I mean, you
some
guys
Fruit Ninja going back in the day.
Oh my God.
I think Matt still had the high score for that.
No, it was Sydney, but there's like, dude, it was Sydney Hobson.
Was Sydney?
Remember, it was like an absurd score, and it's like that's impossible.
Dude, I remember. That's right.
If you had like the iPhone 3 and then it was that iPhone 8, everything lagged so much that you could just like
like I don't know if he was using like a 4-finger technique or something, because I remember he like sent a screenshot of his high score, because that's all we would do at USC when we're in between practices, play Fruit Ninja
in between practice
sessions. Or like play piano, like try and read piano pieces on the piano. But his score was absurd. It was like, it wasn't even a plausible number. It was like, oh yeah, like if you were really good, you could get that. It was like, that is not.
I think it just ended. I think it was like, well,
yeah, it was photo. I bet he was very good at Photoshop. I bet he photoshopped that shit. Like that was pure Photoshop. I'm calling it, Sydney, conspiracy theory.
Yeah,
Photoshop. He photoshopped.
Maybe he'll join and he could argue the point.
I want you to do a live feed of you playing Fruit Ninja and get that same score, man. Joe Pereira, what's up, dude? Mr. Joe Pereira. Oh, Joe. Yeah. How's it going, man? Joe, we want to have you on the show at some point. Lori Black, what's up? He says we all have equal levels of stubble. Fruit Ninja, all caps, and he said Sydney got like a 1700, which was an absurd amount. Like
that's ridiculous.
Like high score was like 500, and all of a sudden Sydney shows up and he's like, look, 1700. It's like no way.
Yeah.
But anyway, okay, sorry, we got off on a little bit of tangent. Playing video games at USC? No, Joe, this was all after the practice day.
Yeah, we were like home. We were like
after
home.
hours.
We actually had a like a time locked capsule that we put all our phones in. That
Oh,
we
yeah.
could not access
Yeah, I
our
remember
phones
that.
when we were
That we
practicing.
threw on the roof.
Yeah.
We had to go up the ladder to get it.
Yeah, we at the beginning of the day we all met at 5:30 a.m. in front of the practice
Yep.
room, and then we threw our phones up on the roof and we practiced till 4:30 a.m. and then we got our phones, slept for an hour,
Yeah.
and then came back at 5:30. That's what we did, Joe.
Repeat.
Yeah. Anyway, so you're talking about like you had to get your mind right. A lot of it was the mental side of it. Did you read books or watch like some videos or get some advice or
Yeah,
how did you train
I
yourself?
I read a book. Oh man, oh man, I always forget the name of it. I wish I It's the one with the big orange dot on it. Matt, you probably you know.
Freakonomics?
Mindfulness, the art.
Art.
Anyway.
In the Zen and the Art of Archery.
No.
The inner game of
Anyway.
tennis.
No. Anyway,
Donald Trump's face.
It's one of those.
That's
No,
it.
but you know,
It's a great book.
It was it.
No, but just basically like it's actually cool to read those books sometimes because it kind of like, first of all, it kind of made me realize that a lot of people are going through those mental like struggles, I think, and realizations. It's just nice to know that someone else has those thoughts. Sometimes it's so hard to like have those doubtful thoughts or like those negative thoughts, and you're like, oh God, everyone else is so much stronger mentally, but it's like, no, everyone had to work on it, or people have to develop that, and so when there's books written about it, it's like, okay, I'm not alone, which kind of helps. But it's also, it gives you tools to like, help focus that never hurt. I drew a lot of parallels with sports. I know you guys are golf players, and like, I just sports have that same component, like, pitching or free throws in basketball, or tennis, serving tennis, just where there's that bowlers.
Yeah.
Did you say bowlers? Yeah, exactly. So yeah, just like there's a lot of components where sports players have to overcome those mental, that mental anguish, and like, so like, yeah, I think I draw a lot of inspiration from sports too. Just how they, why does Michael Jordan want that last shot? What's in his DNA that makes him want that? It's kind of fascinating,
Yeah. So what did you do then to kind of embody that?
I mean, well, shit. I mean, I think it changes. Like in school, it's different. It was just like this push, and now, like, I mean, I just feel like, you can do that whenever you perform. Like whenever you have a concert, just kind of practice getting in that focused mindset. Not nervous, but just like practice being focused. I feel like is a good tool.
Yeah. Do you have like a mantra or something you do, or do you have like a routine, like pre-concert routine that you like?
Honestly, not really. Maybe I should get better at that. I feel like that doesn't hurt.
You're not bad, dude.
Yeah, I mean you're fine. You don't need one.
No, but it was good to get better. But I don't know. I just feel like, it depends on the part. I mean, if I'm playing a couple notes on triangle, probably not a whole lot. If I have a hard mallet thing, I'll get there and just kind of play through it a few times. I don't know. I mean, that's kind of where I'm at. Nothing particular though.
Nice. Real quick, Dave Gerhardt. Do you guys know Dave Gerhardt?
Mm-hmm.
Matt knows Dave Gerhardt. Have you ever met Dave Gerhardt, Andres?
Yeah.
He was on he was on faculty at Long Beach. He went to USC when I was an undergrad. He was a doctoral student. And then he was at Long Beach for a long time as a teacher there, and now he works for Yamaha. But yeah,
Dave,
we go way back.
What's up, man?
Way back in the
What up,
day.
dude?
So Dave, like, I don't mean this as a knock on Dave, but like you see Dave and you're like, oh yeah, that guy, he's, I don't want to down. He's a great guy, but it's like, oh yeah, he wears glasses. Like, oh yeah, like Dave, like whatever. He's probably good at computers. You make these assumptions, right? Doesn't look like an athlete. But there was one day I was like, hey, come play pickup basketball with us. There was like a group of us that used to play pickup basketball, and he came in and we played 21, and he destroyed us. Like he just knew the game so well. You know, he wasn't like LeBron James, but he could just get rebounds. He could box you out. He had all this technique. Like he was like a short version of Tim Duncan. He was Mr. Fundamentals, and he schooled the shit out of all of us. And he's like 10 years older. Like he killed us. He killed us.
That's awesome.
I was
Awesome,
I
man.
was
That'd be great.
furious. I mean, like I never beat him at 21. He just like boxed me out. And I'm taller. I'm like an inch taller than him. Maybe we're the same height, but he could just like always box me out. He always rebounded, and he would just put it right back up. He would kind of like sometimes live by the basket. So if you like, he just knew that you could not make a 3-pointer. So if you shot like a desperation 3, he was waiting for that rebound to put it back and take all your points away. Like he's got the mental side down for sure, man. He was evil. He was evil on the basketball court. Oh, and football too. Yeah, he was good. He doesn't look like an athlete, but he is an athlete. He's an athlete for sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough about
That's
Dave.
cool. Good for Dave.
What up, dude?
Oh yeah, that is the quote. He just said, I think the exact quote was, "Wow, Dave, you're surprisingly athletic." Yeah, that's exactly what I said.
That's great. That's always good when there's a surprise. Like
Yeah.
When, when the guy you don't think is gonna school you does.
Yeah, like a Chris Farley type or a Jack Black. Dave does not look like Chris Farley or Jack Black, but I mean, like that's an extreme example of guys who are like really big, who are super agile.
Yeah.
But
that's awesome.
Anyway, man. Okay, so you got the mental game down. You had just won New World. You're kind of on a high. Like that was, that there was your safety net right there, right? Like you had this pressure on you. You win New World. It's like, okay, so I can like draw this out for 3 more years if I need to. Then a month later, Detroit. And I remember you telling me this because I was telling you a similar story when I auditioned for Santa Barbara, that when I got to the finals, like stepping into the room in finals, it was almost like I had already won. Like I knew I was going to win. Mm-hmm. I knew it. And you told me a similar story. Like you said, like you were dating Shayna at the time. Now your wife Shayna. You said you called her, and you're like, "Hey, I'm gonna go win this audition, and I'll call you back." And you went into the finals and you won. So. What do you think set you apart?
That's one of those things that's hard to explain. Yeah. I don't know, man. And I mean, it's, especially having done so many of those. Well, first of all, I'm sure you guys can agree, but correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like playing and auditioning are like, it's 2 different things, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yeah.
Like
it's a sport.
It's a sport. You could feel comfortable playing and terrible auditioning, and honestly, vice versa too. Like when I was younger, if I was in high school, I'd be like, yeah, sure, audition's fine, but like you're not necessarily at the high playing level, and then it kind of balances out later. But I feel like, having taken so many freaking auditions and like failing, and or not failing, but just not getting
winning.
it and not winning. Yeah, it's not fail. It's just like, yeah, you didn't get it, but hopefully you took something each time you take something. And so you've taken so many of these that you kind of, it's just like making calluses on your hands when you lift weights. It's like after a while, it's like, all right, it doesn't hurt anymore. It's like, you're not as nervous. So like, yeah, I mean, I feel like just taking a bunch of those helps, because like you just start to, get a little numb to it, like I was saying before. And, there's not as much pressure on one thing. There's just, it's the bed of nails type thing. Like one of those is going to hurt, but like if you do a bunch of them, you kind of get numb. It's just like another routine that you're prepping for. So
how do you handle that grind? How did you handle that grind though? It's like, okay, I didn't win this audition, and I gotta go and like hack away for this next one. Like, what do I do differently this time? How do you not just kind of go insane from taking so many auditions?
I mean, I there was a point that I was borderline insane, I would say. But I mean, maybe it has to get to that level. Not everyone has to get to that level, but like, yeah, for me, there was a point where it was tough. It was mentally tough. I was frustrated because like I felt like I was playing at a certain level but wasn't there professionally. So it's like it's frustrating at that point. But I feel like just as long as you can take something from experience and like being like, this is what I could do better for next time, and you just focus on that. And then if that doesn't work, or if there's another thing, then you focus on, each time you're learning something. So it's like you're climbing something as opposed to just plateaued. I guess that's the only thing the only way I could think of it.
That's cool.
Did you guys feel that too? I mean, like, did you feel that too, like when you were at New World?
Yeah, I mean, you only have 3 years at New World, so I mean,
yeah,
you feel this
that's
pressure.
Like a time. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's really nice because New World, all you had to do was just go to rehearsal, and then the rest of the time you had your own basically private practice room to just shed away as much as you want. And it was actually really awesome, the timing of the LA Phil audition, because the season had just ended right before the LA Phil audition. So I had like a few weeks of just alone time in the hall.
Oh, that's the best, dude. That's the best.
I know. And this is the thing. It's like absolutely. And I couldn't agree more about the mental stuff. I mean, it's, I don't know if it's being really taught right now or said it like this, but I mean, auditioning has become a sport. Whether people like to agree or not, it's a sport, and a lot of people are training for this. And I think a lot of parallels, of course, as you said, are going in between sports and music, like auditioning stuff. And I see a lot of these sports teams that have mind fitness coaches. They have just coaches dedicated to just making sure they're mentally there, especially like
sports psychologists.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like so many professional athletes went through psychology for it, and this helps. I always thought it would be a good thing to have like sports psychologists teach musicians, man.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely. I mean, it's the same thing. It's the exact same thing. Yeah. I mean, the only thing that I would say though that would max out the benefit of sports or some type of sports psychologist would be so that, because I mean, technique wise, your technique has to be so sound for this to be play a factor. The technique needs to be a constant. It can't be a variable if you're going to try to really heighten the mind stuff. So like you were doing all those like green exercises and, pushing yourself technically to make sure you were technically perfect so that by the time you needed to perform, all you could think about was, the mind stuff. Because you knew you were going to hit the notes. You knew you were going to play it in time. I mean,
it's a given. When you're in there.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
But there's something to be said of like working on the mind stuff so much to the point, like really consistently to the point where it doesn't feel robotic. It doesn't feel like you're checking every box. It's just like you're streaming through everything. It just becomes natural, and you're able to live in the moment and just play music confidently.
There's like a sense of fluidity through it, and there's connection and phrasing. I mean, just like any instrument that's trained in the classical tradition, like a string instrument or whatever, they have this rich history behind it and this repertoire, and there's a certain musicality that I think some percussionists are lacking because we get obsessed with, patterns and things like that. And Yeah,
Yep.
and the people who stand out are the ones who just sound like musicians. So don't sound like they're
Yeah.
trying to be technically perfect. They're relying on their technical skills, but they're not. They're focusing on making music, and that
But
shows
it is,
even
Yeah.
even when you're playing snare
yeah,
drum. That shows like in 2 seconds of listening to someone play snare drum, you know if they're a musical player or not.
Right.
yeah.
That's true.
And I was
That's true.
also I would say that it's a super big skill and important skill to have is being able to nail something just the first time,
Hmm.
like in front of people on a pressure situation. Just getting used to thriving in that type of mindset, not being scared from it, because unfortunately in this business you're going to come across that constantly.
Hmm.
Any type
Yeah.
of performance
And
thing, you
and
know.
and I also like, and I realized this recently too. Just like being okay. Like if you mess up, it happens. Like everyone's human,
It
right? Like
has, yeah,
it's gonna happen. Like you're gonna mess up or something's gonna happen because everyone's human. It's just like how you overcome that, how you
Yeah,
forget that,
exactly.
compartmentalize it. I mean,
it's just a little blip, tiny blip.
it's a blip,
Yeah,
and it happens, and you hear everybody do it, and you know, obviously you try to avoid it. It's it's not like ideal, but it happens, and
yeah,
like just knowing that's okay, and like just it's in a performance, if you do however many performance. I mean, Matt, you guys play a million performances. We play a bunch of concerts a week. It's gonna happen. You're human, so like
Yeah.
how you like once you do it, if you mess up, just push it aside and then like keep going. It is a good thing to work on too.
Right.
yeah.
Well, yeah,
I
exactly.
almost feel. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Matt. Go for it.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's like I think a lot about what we do is, again, as you said, sports. So they take a lot of statistics. They do statistics down to like the nucleus of everything. And
Yeah.
so, I mean, the same would be said for us. If you take like one audition and you gave yourself stats, you know, you're not gonna, like, Michael Jordan would make 9 out of 10 free throws, right? Now
Yeah.
that might, no, it's not
This would
right, but
be that would be bad for us.
right, exactly. But I mean, so if he misses the first free throw, he knows he's going to make the next 9.
Right.
Statistically,
You,
yeah,
statistically. So I mean, as long as you know your statistics for, like, you know, ballot accuracy, rhythm, integrity, all of
Yeah.
these things, touch, like sound production.
yeah.
Yeah. Just
I
you
think
gotta
you
let
also,
trust the process.
yeah,
Yeah,
I think you also kind of build credit as a musician. You know what I mean? Like if you're well respected as a very musical player, people when they think about you as a musician, they're like, oh yeah, he's incredibly musical. They are, and you're likable just personally. Everyone is so much more forgiving if you in that occasion where you make the inevitable occasion where you make a mistake. Sometimes people just, like, they don't even hear it because
Yeah.
they're
Lot of times.
yeah, yeah. But okay,
Sometimes they do.
so what did you, if we could go back to this question, I don't know if you have an answer, but like Matt, you took that Detroit audition, right?
I did.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Matt was there. Like you had all these people who are just like world class musicians, and you won. Like, do you have any idea what set you apart in that final round? Like, what the committee heard from you that they liked over everyone else?
Man, honestly, I would shy away from that. I mean, I feel like you have to try and be as best as you can be. And for example, I just took this Philadelphia audition recently. I thought I played well, didn't get through. So like, that that is my opinion versus someone else's,
Mm-hmm.
and whether or not I played well or I felt like I played well. I feel like the goal is to always like make sure that you play the way you want to play, and
Mm-hmm.
like you present a product. If it's not what someone likes and you feel like it's good, then that's just a difference of ideals. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So like I just feel like no, I don't know what I played that was good compared to other people. I just felt like I played the way I wanted to play, and that just happened to be what they wanted. You know what I mean? It was just two ideals that matched up. So like, yeah, I mean, I can't say I played more musical or more in time or more accurate. I really can't say that. I felt like I played really well in all aspects, and that lined up with them. You know, that's it. And you know, vice versa. You know, I auditioned for LA. Matt did too, and you know, obviously Matt got the gig, and that's just how it is. Like, you know, it's just how you do deals match up. I think, you know, it's nothing in particular. I don't think. I mean, I'm going for everything, like time, accuracy, musicality, all that stuff.
Yeah.
It just all levels, and you know how much they like yours, I guess.
Right. Okay.
You can make yourself crazy going, you know, thinking about that, you know, like how certain orchestras play, what people are listening for. I feel like you don't want to change that too much. I don't think. I mean, maybe that's bad advice, but I mean, what do you guys think? Like,
no, I think that's right.
I think if you're always trying to guess what the other person's trying to, you know, what they're listening for, you're just gonna be guessing. But if you kind of play consistently, eventually someone's gonna dig what you're doing.
I mean, yeah, I mean that ties back into what we first talked about you being the life of the party. If you're always trying to be someone else, it's going to come off as inauthentic. But if you are always yourself, even if you are being vulnerable or you do feel awkward, if you are genuine in that, people are going to forgive you more. Like, you're going to match up more.
I'm not saying like don't like seek out advice. Like, you know, obviously, but you know, just you know, I think Eddie likes to really, like, you know, like a certain stroke roll, or you know, then you're changing your own technique. It just doesn't make, you're changing your identity every time, which I don't think is efficient.
Yeah, I agree for sure. All right, I want to hear this Naples story before we wrap up. It seems like both of you guys know.
God.
So wait, so this is Naples, Florida, right? Correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so Andres took it. Matt, you took it as well?
I did.
Okay,
yeah.
so you're
this was
okay.
the audition right before Andres's tear.
Okay, let's see. You guys go for it. I'm just gonna sit back and listen. I'm gonna hear this story.
Well, I mean, we're in Naples, Florida, and this is another thing where we're just taking audition after audition, and this one, I like was trying to learn different lists, and I'm not the most organized person by nature. Okay, you guys are more naturally gifted in that area, and I'm just like learning stuff, and I realized I didn't make like book. Everyone should make a book, you know, but I didn't make my book till later, and I realized, I didn't learn this one piece. There's one piece, the Nutcracker, the dance
Glog.
of the glog Nutcracker.
All right. Okay.
And I was like, you know what? It's a fairly larger list. Chances are they're not going to ask it, so I'm just going to not learn it and just focus. I don't know why I did that. You know, you learn. This is what I'm saying. You learn something from each one.
Yeah.
And of course, I played the first round. I forgot what round it was. I think it was the first round.
No, you got through the first round.
You
were like one of the few. You were like one of, because it was a bloodbath.
They just cut people.
It was. Yeah. They just cut people off.
Oh my god! Wait, quick pause, dude. Andres, Danny Goldman's here. Say what's up, man.
Danny, what's up, Danny? I miss you, man.
He says, "Oh yeah, Nutcracker," with a bunch of question marks, and then he just says Andres.
Oh yeah, Nutcracker.
It was semis,
and then so I play, and of course Nutcracker is on it. Of course, like the one piece I didn't look at all. And so I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna put on my sight reading hat and try this. And I half the tempo, you know, it's supposed to be like a waltz, like, you know. Yeah. It was like I went ding dong, just going through. Played the rest of the round flawlessly. Like I was killing it, and I'm like, man, that other one was Really bad. And I played the whole round, and they're like, "Can you go back to the Nutcracker and play it, like at the right tempo, please?" And I'm like, man, I don't know. I just hacked through it, man. I didn't get through it. It was bad. But that was just a good lesson. That was a good lesson. Just learn everything. Simple lesson.
Oh my God.
Simple lesson, but good.
I hope I'm not opening up like an old wound, but didn't you do the same thing in Boston?
That one I didn't know I learned wrong.
Oh, okay.
I actually thought I learned something wrong, and I didn't know it. I thought I nailed it, but I learned it wrong. But yeah, that's for another webcast.
So Matt, what was your experience at Naples?
No, that was it. I mean, dude, my only other story like that was for Colorado finals. They asked the most random part of bass drum of Mahler 3.
Oh God, I hate that.
Same thing.
I hate that.
And I nailed the entire round. And of course, they were like, "Can you do that one more, please?"
It's like, come on.
You say in that certain way, like, "Can you maybe try that again?"
Yeah.
Right?
Can you do it not wrong? Can you not butcher that?
And you're like, "Oh God, they saw right through me."
Yeah.
I know,
Wait, what part of Mahler 3 was that? I mean, because the first movement it's a piece in itself, and it's like, come on, man, it's so out of context.
Well, yeah. There's this one spot, I forget where, but it's like, it just has rhythms going down, and then ending with a roll at the bottom.
Okay.
And a lot of fast, loud rhythms, and then going into roll at the bottom.
And you're like making it a solo.
Yeah, just like.
I had no idea about the tempo. I had no idea. I didn't realize.
Isn't that a scary feeling?
Dude, well, because the thing is, I didn't know that it said on the list all of Mahler 3. I thought it was just, God. Because again, I was going it was Colorado, and then it was like, you remember I had to like go back and do my master's recital. I don't know if you remember if you were there. You were there for that.
Yeah. Well, we were in touch.
Cincinnati, that was all within like 2 months.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
So yeah, I mean, it's a simple lesson, but it's like, learn all the music. That's gonna help you.
I know.
Yeah.
Or just read the list carefully.
Yeah. I mean,
real quick,
something that is novelty, but
yeah. Jeff Grant's checking in. He says, "What up, my nerds?"
Oh, what up,
Jeff Grant? What's up, man?
JRG music. Yeah, dude, that's awesome. Well, I think we're gonna call it here. Drace, it was so great to have you. So great to talk to you.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, dude.
Imparting your wisdom on us. That was, we didn't have a lot of questions, but I think we had a really great conversation just now about.
Well, hey, we just talked. We caught up.
Man.
It was great.
It was awesome. All right.
Yeah.
So join me and Matt
later, guys.
next week with someone else, and we'll see you soon. Take it easy.
See ya.